I believe that you, before the segment, you interviewed her older brother. Please, your thoughts on this story.
Okay, so thank you. And OG, this is such an emotive story, and it's very difficult to not take, to not feel the pain that Ochanya and her family must have gone through in the last few years. And I'm glad that finally, hopefully, justice will be served in this case, because a lot of people tried, I must say, when this case first came to public light. Now, the brother has said that there was a lot of intimidation and threats to the family when they tried to seek justice in the courts. We've also seen now that, thankfully, the Benue State government has reopened the case based on fresh evidence and, of course, responding to public advocacy. And so we will follow the case and see how this goes through. Hopefully, this time, the son, her cousin, Victor, would be made to come and answer for the role that he played. I'm glad that we had the opportunity to capture Ochanya's voice, telling the experience of what happened or what transpired. That hopefully should be should act as evidence in this new case. I know when it comes to rape and sexual abuse, it's often argued as to how difficult it is to prove, because there has to be some medical proof and the likes. And so sometimes the case can be drawn out if we're speaking legally. But in terms of the face of it, I'm hoping that there will be a more thorough investigation and all those culpable will be brought to book. But even more than that, OG, because we have a lot of Ochanyas in Nigeria, is how can we prevent this from happening? When you look at that, then we look at all those who can be said to be complicit. There's a culture of silence and disgrace on the victim rather than the perpetrators, where the victim is told to keep quiet. In this case, Ochanya was said to have been told that she was threatened by the man and his son, that if she speaks out about this, then she would be, they would kill her family. And we hear many young people talk about this. So those who protect the perpetrators, the auntie herself, who as a wife and a mother shielded her husband and her son from facing, the sister who was said to have reported the case in the first instance to her dad, neighbors who might have observed something but chose to look away. OJ, we see this a lot of times happening. In other parts of the world, we see responsibility by neighbors who call the attention of police and security operatives when they notice something onto what's happening with their neighbors. Why do the neighbors keep quiet? The schools. If you are in school and you notice a difference in a child coming to school, you should raise an alarm. Relatives, other religious institutions. The man is a knight of a religious organization. I'm glad that they've now come out to say that he's been suspended. But why didn't they take action before this renewed call was made? He remained a knight until 7 years later, when the justice for Ochanya came out. The police and other those complete